Hello everyone. So this session we're going to talk about configuration of inventory management. The configuration includes the activities. There are lots of activities in inventory management, some of which have common values. So let's start with that. Let me connect to the server. So again, the configuration activities take place in the IMG screen. So let's go to SPRO, IMG, materials management, inventory management and physical inventory. And the first thing is maintaining plant parameters. These parameters contain values common for most of the inventory related transactions, including some production related activities. So during practice, we're going to copy from the standard plant, which is 1000. Select 1000 and click on copy as like I just did, and enter one of your plant codes. Double click on the plant code and maintain the values. Now for various goods movement types, the first option would be create storage location automatically, which does not actually mean creation of a new storage location. Rather, when the activity is carried out with reference to any document, and if that document does not contain the storage location information, and if that there is some specific data to be maintained in that for that storage location, should the system automatically check and maintain that data is what the create storage location automatically checkbox is all about. So when you receive the stock or when you're issuing the stock with reference to a document, in case there is some specific data to be maintained like expiry related time, expiry date or any other thing, then the system would ensure that the relevant data is maintained in the system. Delivery completion default will ensure that the system automatically updates the delivery completion of the stock whenever you're receiving them with reference to a document. Missing parts active and summarize missing parts. These two are normally used together so that the SIP application can keep track of the stock which is received with reference to in the reference document and which parts have not been received. And in case of the parts received, is it the complete stock ordered or only partial stock? And it's going to summarize those missing parts and the deficit. So similarly, in case the expiry date has to be checked, should the system check for the production date automatically in this plant for all the expiry related date material or not? If it is checked, then the production date will be checked. In case of bill of material, how is it used, where is it applicable, is what will be mentioned in the goods movements. Similarly, when you carry out physical inventory process, what is the default stock type selected for the physical inventory process in this plant can be specified here. If you recollect, the physical inventory document that we created did not have any default stock type or alternate unit was not checked, patch and background was not checked. So when we maintain these values in the plant, whenever you carry out the physical inventory process, this will be the default selection. Similarly, when reservation is created, should the system automatically check the movement allowed checkbox to ensure stock can be issued immediately after reservation? And these two values, days movement allowed and retention period, are used to indicate for how many days should the system show the stock in the reserved column, that is the retention period, and out of this period, for how many days should the system allow the stock to be issued. So based on the client requirement, these two values will be maintained. So once you maintain these values, whenever you carry out any inventory related transactions, the basic data will be taken from here, and the warning messages that you were seeing earlier, like plant per plant data not maintained or plant does not exist in so and so table, those types of messages will not be displayed anymore. Right? Next one is attributes of system messages. This is where you're going to set how these messages will be displayed, whether they should be displayed as a warning message, error message, or no message. So based on the requirement, we can maintain the system message settings. Next one is defining the number ranges for the various documents that are going to be created, the accounting documents, material documents, fiscal inventory documents, and reservation documents. The first one is number assignment for accounting documents. When you click on execute and go to financial accounting document types, you'll see the document types that are used for every possible type of accounting transaction. But these are all not what we are going to be concerned with in inventory management. So the accounting documents that we're going to be concerned about are these three: WA, WE, and WI. Whenever any goods issue in stock is issued by whatever method, whether it is removed from storage, goods issued for any purpose, goods issued against reservation, the value of the transaction will be handled in the WA documents, and the goods receipt, WE, inventory documents, WI. So for these three document types, we need to maintain the number range. Click on this number range information, enter the company code for which you're going to maintain the number range. Click on change intervals, maintain the interval by year. Like I told you, accounting documents and material documents are maintained by the year. So once you have maintained, the system will automatically update that element. Okay. Next one is the material and physical inventory documents. Click on execute. Click on goods maintain. These are the documents for physical inventory documents, physical inventory process. These are the documents for goods movement and inventory differences, and these are the documents for goods receipt. So the reason why we have more number of document types here is because these document types are used for every possible goods movement, not only goods receipt, but also goods issue and stock transfers, inventory differences, everything. So material document will be created for every possible scenario, every possible stock movement. So these are the different documents used. So based on the transaction required, based on the transaction carried out, each of these documents, the number range will be maintained. Like if you want to maintain a number range, click on group, create, enter the text, year, from number to number. Let's say I'm going to maintain the number range for WE document. For WE, enter the year, from number to number, save it, go back, select the document type, click on element group assign and select the number range, click on copy. So now this document type will be assigned under that number range. Save it, and whenever you carry out transaction for that particular transaction of WE is the document type used, then it will trigger that particular number range. So like this, the material and physical inventory document number range can be assigned. For reservations, there is no document type, so the interval will be created with the interval code, and that code will be directly inserted into the program. So here we go back to number range, and here whatever number range code I'm going to assign, based on that number range that is assigned within that code, the system will use that code, that range to create the document, right? So these are number ranges. Next one will be settings for enjoy transactions, where we're going to select the screen selection or field selection for MIGO screen and for transactions and reference documents. The first one is field selection for MIGO, where we're going to select the screen selection common to all the transactions carried out through the MIGO screen, right? So the various fields which are common to all the transactions are displayed here. Based on the client requirement, you can select it as optional, required, display, or hidden, right? Then field selection per movement type. This is where I'm going to specify additional fields specific for each transaction. For example, when we are returning the material back to vendor, the reason for movement field becomes a mandatory field only when you are returning the material back to vendor. So for that reason,